Okay, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. I'm just going to move this out of my way a little bit. I'm Aidan, of course, and welcome to another plague surgery. I hope everyone in the chat is doing well. Thank you for being here. For people who may be new to this, the plague surgery is where we're going to go through our members list that have been submitted in our Discord. You can see here, plague surgery. And basically, I'm going to go through it, look at your list, give feedback, thoughts on the unit choices, and maybe a suggestion how it would play. If you're interested in getting your list looked at, consider becoming a member, but also leaving a like and a cheeky subscribe is also very welcome. So once chat confirms that the audio is all well and good, then we will full 100% get into it. So hello in the chat to Ben, Hayden, and Dylan. How are you doing, guys? What a good week for Death Guard it's been. I'm really looking forward to making this week's episode of Infection Critical, looking at the best list of the week, because we're going to have about 2 or 3 to look at, really. Some really good results, a lot of 4-1s, 5-1s, and even a 6-0 in China, which was quite interesting. So we will have a look at all of those later on in the week. But feel free to ask questions in the chat about that. I thought we'd seen all the lists until last week's video with all the big boys. I know, right? So, yeah. We'll sort of crack on with it and let us know how you're doing in the chat, obviously, and any questions, like I said, feel free to drop them in. It's looking to be quite interesting. The meta at the moment is panning out to be very, very interesting. Lots of different armies doing really well, like Dark Eldar is having a really high win rate for some weird reason. And everyone seems to be doing fairly decent. There's only like a couple of fringe armies that are really struggling, one of which is about to cease to exist very soon. Death Watch. No, they still do exist, but I highly doubt it's going to be a highly supported faction. But yeah, you know the deal. Leave a like and subscribe, and let's crack on into it. So the first list we'll look at today is from Music Drive. It's called Morty, and now it's 35 points at the moment. Now, is that 35 at the moment? Maybe there'll be an explanation. Well, yeah, 35 points over. Okay, no worries. That's fine. So we're going to be rocking a Biological Putrefier and a Foul Blight Spawn, 2 Malignant Playcasters, Mortarion, and a Typhus. So a lot of points and characters there, but not necessarily bad. They're actually, still all very powerful characters, but you do have quite a lot in your characters there. And I've played this before, so this is like not unusual to me, this amount of characters. So I know it's like it can work, but just be aware it is a lot of points and characters there. So we got one big brick of Plague Marines to go with the Foul Blight Spawn and the Biological Putrefier. Again, classic. If you know Death Guard, you know exactly what the 10 man's for with the Biological Putrefier and the Foul Blight Spawn. Fights first, lethal 5s, free grenade strap, great unit. 2 5-man, so we got a Plague Bus. We all love a good Plague Bus with the 2 Plague Casters in there. 2 Rhinos to ferry all around. We've got a single unit of Death Guard Cultists. I think you should always have at least 1 unit of Cultists in your army. That's really good for utility. So happy to see that. 3-man of Death Shroud Terminators. Again, a really good little versatile unit. I'm going to assume, yeah, it's only Typhus that can join them, so Typhus will be joining them. 1 Plague Burst Crawler, 2 Plague Burst Crawlers, rocking the Flamer and an Entropy Cannon. And then we have 2 War Dog Brigands. 10-man loadout is interesting. Did I miss some? I'm so used to just seeing it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, it could just be models that he has. Got to bear that in mind. Now, if we were to, again, if this is what you've got, fair enough, and you like playing, you wish to be totally nothing wrong with that. Like, it'll still do damage, that's fine. But, realistically, you want to try and take 2 heavy plague weapons, 4 heavy plague weapons total, and then you want to go double Melter Gun, really, and then 2 Plague Spewers, and then like a Blight Launcher spare, or a Blight Weapon spare. 1 Melters can be a bit whiffy, and again, if it's just what you got, it's just what you've got, don't worry too much about it. But I would try and get the 2 Melter Guns, it just increases the odds you get at lethal 5s. And heavy plague weapons, even though they hit on 4s, tend to just do more than Biotics in general. So I'd rather max them out, because you want to like kill, you want to hit hard when you do hit. So I'd max out the heavy in comparison to Biotic. But there's an argument to be said that you could go Biotic if your meta is filled with like lots of infantry rather than like elite infantry. So that is something to be said. And by the looks of the second squad as well, having only 1 heavy plague. Oh, so that's a 5-man, isn't it? So the 5-man is quite melee heavy. So we'll drop in the Flamer there and 1 of the heavy plague weapons for Biotic. So quite a preference to Biotic here. Again, if you could, I'd probably upgrade them to heavy plague weapons. Melter Gun, I like that, and I like putting a Spewer in as well. I just think that's the best 5-man loadout. But again, it's nothing wrong. It's minor things. Like, these things would help upgrades. But again, if it's Wissywig you've got, it's what you're playing with, nothing wrong with that. At least it's not Bolters. I'll give you that. If it was Bolters, then we'd have to have a chat. Rhinos are rhinos. The rule is, everyone that's listening, who maybe is new, and a lot of people know it with me, say it with me in chat. If you bring a Plague Marine squad, it has to have a Rhino. A walking Marine is a dead Marine. That is the good old saying. Especially with Death Guard, and especially this edition. Walking Marine, dead Marine. So, we don't want that. So, Rhinos, good include. Cultists, again, really like that. Now, the Death Shroud, only having the one squad means that Typhus is linked to them. Which means actual units you've got to play around with are... You've always got 2 Rhinos to do stuff. You've got a big 10-man squad, so 3, 4, 5, because the 2 5-man Plague Marines. And you got 2 Plague squads, 2 Brigands. So, that's okay. This is alright. You might struggle a bit when it comes to some actions, but again, we'll touch on that in a second. Now, we've got 2 Brigands here. Okay. So, Brigands are making a bit of a comeback. They're always good. They're still good in Death Guard. Like, it hits on 2s. Makes extra bonus AP itself, combined with contagions for -1 toughness, -1 save, makes it a lot better against a lot of profiles. So, Brigands are making a comeback. I've seen a lot of 3-ofs and 2-ofs in like really good lists, which is interesting to see. So, seeing them in this list is, it's quite expected, to be honest. Now, the one thing that is somewhat making me look at this is because we got to cut 35 points somewhere, and I'm trying to think, where do we actually cut the 35 points here? Because you could argue to take out a Plague Marine 5-man, because the Plague Bus can be ran with just a single 5-man, or no 5-mans. Either works, and I think committing the 180 points in there, plus the Plague Playcasters, is a bit much, so you could find points there. The question is, what do you swap them out to? You could go like into another unit of Cultists, saves you, then you got 5 points spare, which is just welcome to 10th edition. So that's something that could be said. Now, the other thing that makes me worry about this list is if we talk about Death Guard, and again, it totally depends on the style list, but if we talk about Death Guard here, guys in chat, what are the trading units in this army? Because the problem is, if we make that one change there to fit the points in, we take all these Plague Marines out, what trading units do we actually have to initiate trades? We've got 1 5-man that we haven't cut, the Cultists, and then that's like about it. Like, Brigands are not trading pieces. You want to try and keep them alive. Plague Burst Crawls are not trading pieces. They're more like bait pieces, but you don't really want to be trading them 180 points. Death Shroud probably going to be reserves. So, at that point, the only thing you have to literally bait with is, like, the Cultists and the Plague Marines. And, like, this is why we go on, like, you see Bloat Drones in so many lists at the moment. Because Bloat Drones are the best trading unit that we have. It's 90 points for a ridiculous profile that is semi-tough to kill. And again, it's 90 points. Killing 5 Plague Marines is not hard. Killing a Bloat Drone can easily be undercommitted to, and the weapon profiles needed to kill that often mean they end up exposing valuable units, which you can then trade back on. So, trading that unit like a symmetrical list. I'll show you a trading unit. Kubi in the chat, hello. hey, Heroic Hotspot, how you doing? Nurgle Matthew, welcome. So, for me personally, I want to put more trading units in here. So, again, if we cut down the Plague Marines to fit the list, and you do 1-for-1 trade it with another unit of Cultists, so we still keep 3 trading units, which is a bit better. It's not too bad, and it does make it fit the points. But this is a kind of list that has to be a little careful, because the whole point of Brigands is Brigands have only 24-inch range, which can be limiting. So you need something to draw the opponent out into the midfield so the Brigand can strike. So in that case, you're looking at, in here, the only thing you're going to have to draw something out is a Plague Marine squad. 10 Cultists are not going to draw out big threats. They can trade up a lot of the time, because a lot of time, 50 points is just hard for other armies to match. But the problem is, for example, you put a Bloat Drone on a point, I'm going to bring out, say I'm a Marine player, I can bring out, you put a Bloat Drone, I have to bring out, some either scary melee, an Eradicator squad, Hellblasters, or there's a chance I'll expose a Lancer, or there's just a good chance that I whiff and don't kill it and it lives. You put Cultists out there, I can kill that thing with, scouts. I can just, walk out, bolt gun it, charge it, and punch it to death. I'm trading 80 points to, 50 points. This is still an upgrade. The Cultists are still trading, but what you're forcing them to trade with is not as effective as a Bloat Drone. If a Bloat Drone was there, now they've got to send out somewhat a say they got 5-man Death Company with a chaplain in it. Great, that's like a 220 point unit that's come out to kill a bloat drone. And I've had them live that before. If you pop -1 damage, they can live it. Risky to pop, but if it's crucial, you can. And then you pick that up, and that's like almost double the points traded back. So it's way more like valuable investment there. So in this list, I'd want to try and find a way to get some bloat drones in. Where that cut is made is going to be tough. And this is the one thing I've been talking about a lot recently is when it comes to this big 10-man in this Rhino, very effective unit, don't get me wrong, but it is 375 points for this unit. That's a lot of points. Like, for the Rhino, that's with the Rhino include, obviously. But that is a lot of points for one unit. And in this edition at the moment, that's a lot of things you can get. You can get literally triple bloat drone for 270 and still 105 points spare. That is fucking wild to think about. Now, don't get me wrong, it won't do anywhere near as much damage, but also it's less of a risky investment. If you cock up the 10-man and they get a good angle and they just pick it up, because it's not hard to kill, it's really not hard to kill, you're a lot of points down. So when I've been playing my Mortarion, the 10-man or the Plague Boss has been an or. It's not been an and, because you need those points in trading units. Now, you can, again, make it work, but you need to include like a lot more like colours. I'd probably potentially be tempted to drop both Plague Marines from the Plague Bus in this list. Just run the Plague Bus with the guys in it, and then swap them straight out for like bloat drones. And then in regards to trying to find those extra points, you could technically drop a Brigand down to a Carnivore. That's only 30 points, though you're still 5 points over. Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. So, I mean, lists in 10th edition are so hard to sort of make work easily. You could downgrade a Plague Burst Crawler, because, again, you got a little bit of indirect here, which is nice. I do like indirect, and indirect's going to be good in this army because you don't have too much trading. So it actually makes that a bit better, so I don't really want to touch them too much. But yeah, my easiest guess would to be like drop Plague Marines, add another unit of Cultists in. That's like the easiest way to make this list legal and functional. And then if you have any spare points, you can put an enhancement in, whatever. But right now, you have 5 points spare, so that's not happening. But yeah, I think right now for this list, I don't want to change it too much. Just take out one of these Plague Marine squads from the Plague Bus. Put in another unit of Cultists, or like Nurglings or Poxwalkers, anything like that will do. And then play with that there. You could put the PVCs into the structures here, Dimitri. And also, Datsun does, thank you so much for the 8 months there, mate. Howdy to you too. And Heretical Spartan, also, thank you so much for becoming a Plague Marine. Again, check the community tab on the YouTube page. There is a link to join the Discord. And then you can link your Discord account to your YouTube account. It'll join you into all these channels you can see on the left, like the Plague Surgery. You can submit your own, the giveaway channel, etc. So if you're interested and you enjoy it, please consider becoming a member. It really does help. And thank you for those that just did. He could swap the PBCs into Destructors here. The only reason I don't say that is because when we're doing Plague Surgery, I don't want to change too much at once. And that is not like, it's 2 tanks out for 2 tanks. But if this is what he's got and available, I want to try and keep these in here. And the easiest thing I think to do right now would to be just drop 5 of the Plague Marines and put something else in there, like another unit of Cultists. And yeah, I also think Predators need projecting auras. Like you need, again, this is why I think bloat drones are really important. I would love to put bloat drones in this list. But at the moment, I don't want to mess with it too much, because when you come to lists and play in your army, you want to play a list, and then when you make changes to it, the worst thing you can do, unless it's literally terrible and garbage, is throw the entire thing out. You want to make small changes on things that aren't working, and then go from there. A lot of people too much change entire lists, and they never learn how to use the units in that list. So in this specific scenario, I'm going to suggest dropping a 5-man Plague Marine and putting a unit of Cultists in. Just so this fits the bill, because that's what he's asking. Any change to make the list work, that's what he's asking for. So that is my immediate change. And then further down the line, as Dimitri says there, it is Dimitri, isn't it? Dimitri. Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. Then you could look at maybe swapping the PBCs to like Destructors if the Destructors are performing better for you. You could even like again look at some like dropping, maybe changing a Brigand to like Carnivores, stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, just go with that first change, play it, let us know how you feel on it, let's get a bit of feedback on it. Typhus would love to, honestly, I mean, you're already very character-heavy here, so I wouldn't put another character in here, but like, I like running Typhus solo, because again, it's another unit that can come down, it's very small, it's very hard to stop deep striking, it can do actions. in here, he's tied to these Death Shroud, which is fine, still very good. So we're happy with that. But again, if you could at some point, like if I was to trade out, again, I always say Plague Bus or 10-man in this with Mortarion builds, I would use the points that you get from dropping one of those or the other to get a Lord of Contagion or something to go with that guy, which frees up Typhus to go and be like an action in scoring unit there. Okay? Gotcha. If I can get down to it, Rob, I will, mate. So we got Revs or Reeves here. So, he's got a paste bin. Okay, give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to have to open this up on a different window. And you guys need to see it, so let me open it up. Okay. And then I'll switch my window capture to... You guys cannot see that, apparently. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's just quickly read the message that came with it. I have tried a variant of this with triple carnivores. The Hellbrute is one of the top units in the list. It spreads contagion and makes the Predators and Brigands much better. Cultists, Rhinos, Drones, and the 5-man Marine squads are for scoring. Predators, Brigands are the damage dealers. Drones are for Overwatch threat, and the Carnivore is for rapid ingress threat. Okay. So, let's have a look at it. So, looks like we're going to have a 10-man Plague Marine squad here with a final Blight Spawn and the Balch Fire. Typhus as well. Very light on characters, one. Very light, which is fine in Death Guard. Like, you can go heavy or light. If there was going to include 3 characters, these are probably a really solid 3. Super happy with these. So we've got, there's the 10-man Plague Marine. We've got 2 5-mans. Now that is interesting because you've only got the one there. I'm guessing that's just because he really wants to use them with Rhinos and just drop them off, which again is fair enough. We're happy with that. Now, I'm going to have a look for the bloat drones in a second. Now, if he does have bloat drones already, understand the second Rhino. If he doesn't, my immediate thought is get these 2 Plague Marines into bloat drones right away, because then you don't have to pay the Rhino tax, and they're still going to do the same job. Cultist, again, fantastic unit. It's really great for sort of going out and doing things. Happy with that. Hellbrute. Now, the Hellbrute, as he just said there, he's gone with the Plasma Cannon and the Fist. Again, I like that. I liked it a lot more when you could tank shock off the Fist strength, but still having the Fist there is just like if you keep it near your Predators, it's a unit that's like, come and melee threat my Predators and I will countercharge and punch you super hard, as well as dealing a shit ton of mortals to you. So I'm fine with that. Again, you don't really care for the Hellbrute's own damage output. All you care is you score that hit to tag with Contagion. So joining that with a triple Predator Destructor, so that's a lot of firepower there. Las Cannons, auto cannons. Yep, great. There we go. We've already got 2 fed bloat drones. So yeah, what I said before, disregard it. Bloat drones are in. Happy with that. So we got the bloat drones and the Plague Marines. Poxwalkers, again, I'm going to guess that's just a hold home. Fine. It's a fine unit. Some people are swapping that out for a Tallyman at the moment. But again, Poxwalkers spread more area out and can deny more deep strike. So I would rather have the guaranteed utility of screening out rather than the potential of getting like extra CP. And then we've got 2 Brigands and a Carnivore. So, yes, this is the correct choice if you're bringing that Hellbrute. Carnivore does not need a Hellbrute to help it out. Hellbrute is there to help your ranged units basically be able to put their firepower out at long range. So, having a triple Carnivore with a Hellbrute is kind of making the Hellbrute semi-redundant. Like, you could tag Summit for it to then charge it, but the Hellbrute tends to work better when you tag a unit at range, pop Boy or Blight on it, and then pick it up with whatever units you got to shoot at it. And with the Brigands there, that's a really good choice. Now, I do like the double Brigand into 1 Carnivore. The Carnivore, having 1 Carnivore on your list, 1, it doubles up like the Hellbrute job, but it's way faster. So this Carnivore can be like your backliner. So for the Americans out there, you have like a, what's it called, like a fullback or something in American football? I don't know. It's the guy that like sits at the back and he like reacts to stuff and like takes someone out when they try and push you. So that's like what he can be really good for. So if you're against an aggressive army, like they've got Anger and it's World Eaters. If he wants to throw Anger on to try and go pick up a Brigand or like a Predator turn 1, cool, feel free. I'll answer it from a Carnivore and potentially have the chance to one-shot you back. And that puts us in a positive trade. In the flip side, if you're against a shooting matchup and you're not going to get anywhere for free easily, you can put him in strategic reserves, rapid ingress him on, move 14, and then be threatening something. And it's something your opponent has to be aware of. If your opponent does not push forward screens, which then lets you obviously interact and kill them and charge them and shoot them, then the Carnivore is going to come on, move 14 and charge something important. So the Carnivore, just even 1 in the list, adds a lot of like utility and flexibility to the list, which is really, really, really nice. And I prefer that over triple Brigand or triple Carnivore. I like the single Carnivore with a double Brigand, just because it adds that flexibility. And the other thing is, this list has a lot of shooting already. You got Triple Predator. Like, another Brigand in there could, like, a lot of shooting. But again, what's doing that counter charge? What's doing that stay away from me? At the moment, we've got the Hellbrute, the Carnivore, and the 10-man. Now, one thing this list I personally like to have in lists is a unit of Death Shroud, just the 3-man, because having a unit that can deep strike makes your opponent have to play differently. He has to commit some resource to screen the backfield. Even if you were never going to come in there, making him have to keep some units back, which he doesn't want to use his important stuff because he needs that to go forward. That means he has to put cheap screeny stuff back there. But any cheap screeny stuff that's going back there to stop deep strike is now stuff that isn't pushing out to stop the rapid ingress of a Carnivore. So you see that like natural synergy of each other. So in this list, honestly, with the amount of guys you've already got sort of going up and doing stuff, I would consider dropping that second Rhino and the Plague Marines in it. And I think you just go even wider. I'd go like a unit of Death Shroud, Lord of Contagion in there, and then the extra points you could just go even like more cultists or even like that third Bloat Drone. Because I reckon you've got enough OC with the 10-man up there and the triple Carnivores down here, the triple War Dogs down here, which is really nice for OC wise. And like the Rhino with the 2 Plague Marine squads, it's like 255 points. So you could get you could get a Lord of Contagion, a unit of Death Shroud, which is going to be more pressure on your opponent to worry about. And then you got 50 points. So I'd probably just go like another unit of Cultists again to just do more early trading. Now, if that Rhino is doing good work for you, though, do keep it. Again, what works for thee does not always work for me. That is another saying we go with. So if it's doing well, it's doing well. But I do like this variant list better. I would much prefer it with the double Brigand over the triple Carnivore you said before. So I actually really like this list, mate. There's not too much changes that actually make to it, to be honest. Yeah, there you go. Carnivores for the rapid ingress threat. He's put that in there. But don't be afraid to keep it on the board and use it as a backliner to sort of react to things. So yeah. Really like that list, mate. I actually really do like that list. It's really cool. So let us know how it keeps going, that one. It's a really cool list, that, mate. I actually quite like that quite a lot. It's mad what you can get when you don't go heavy on characters. Like, the amount of units you actually have there is kind of wild, I won't lie. Very quickly to chat, let's have a look. So yes, said it correct, cool. I have 4k points of Chaos Knights, Jesus Christ. Gee, that's a lot of Chaos Knights and Death Guard, mate. 10k points of Death Guard. Oh, you are Revs, yeah. So this is your list, mate. So yeah, I do like this. Now, like you said, if you're not great at using Terminators, don't feel forced to use them. If you're getting more use out of the Plague Marine Rhino plays, keep that. One thing I might suggest, though, is unless sometimes when I played with this and I had the 2 5-mans in a Rhino, I'd have games where I was like, the second 5-man isn't actually doing that much. I was like, what is it actually doing? And I swapped it out to a... Now, obviously, in your list, you'll probably want to keep it because you want to have a reason to have the Rhino. But you could always swap it for, like, a Playcaster and just have that guy shooting out the roof because it makes the Rhino itself a lot more scary. But, like, I drop it for, like, a Bloat Drone. But, again, the less you are putting in the Rhino, like, then you start looking at the Rhino and being like, is the Rhino worth 75 points? Things like that. But I do like this list, mate. Let us know how it's going for you, especially with the Dual Brigand change. I do think that is much better. So, yeah, love that list, mate. Right, can we come back to the chat? I messed up where you... Yeah, so that one. What do you think with 2 drones with spitters and 1 with the heavy launcher for support? Yeah, I like that. That is my favourite loadout. So the 2 spitters kind of play your midfield, kind of play trading. I like having a single Blight launch drone because that drone can stay at the sides of the board, stay in certain quarters, still contribute to the fight with its 36-inch range with good strength and AP, but also be free to just move around, screen out areas where you might have weaknesses, and also just be free to do actions. Whereas a Flamer drone could be like completely out of the fight at that point. And if you don't draw a secondary that requires him to do an action, he's just out of place and not doing anything for that turn. Whereas the heavy Blight launcher drone is still contributing to the battle whilst being in that place. So I do actually really like the 2 and 1 split of the heavy Blight launcher to the spitters. So yeah, it's a good unit. Honestly, it's underrated. The heavy Blight launcher is very underrated. Double Flamer Hellbrute like a William player. That's one way of doing it for sure. Is it possible to get a link to the previous list with Mortarion? I'm in this hobby for about 3 to 4 now. I'm trying to build my Death Guard enemy toolbox that will more in it. Can I give you a link to that? Tell you what. This one here, this Morty one. Let me grab that. I'll see if I can do a paste bin for you, mate. But do bear in mind it is like 35 points over though, so you will have to make some slight changes to it. Paste. New paste. How do I do this? I always forget. Is it just paste? Is it that? No, that creates a new one. I'm really bad. Create new paste. There we go. So I put that in the chat for you, mate. I'll have to load up the stream because for some reason my Streamlabs, though linked because I can see you guys all in chat, doesn't let me actually chat for it. So if Typhus does get Plague Eater in combat, whoever just put that on my channel, I think I know what I'm talking about. There we go. Let's go into here, pause myself so I don't have to hear myself. And when the chat loads, I'll drop it in there for a second for you, mate. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next one. Right. So, is this your alternative? Oh, that's not what you want for, yeah. Because I scrolled up there. So the Locus start's going to be, right. Okay, let me just quickly post this. The chat loaded. Nope, useless thing. So slow. Oh, you guys can't even see the Discord. Back to Discord. There we go. Okay, back on Discord now. I'm just going to mute that so you guys can't hear it. Okay. So back on the Discord now. So Locus start. When my chat loads, I will drop it in. It's just being really, really slow there, mate. So Locus start. So we've got a Biology Putrefier, a Foul Blight Spawn, 2 Malignant Plaguecasters, a Terminator Sorcerer with Deadly Pathogen, and Typhus. So again, very standard sort of thing there. Terminator Sorcerer is a bit spicy, a bit different. So, but you know, still a fantastic unit. We'll see what he's joining. 10 Plague Marines with the standard loadout of all the good stuff, like that. 2 5-mans again with the standard loadout of all good stuff. Again, really like that. I'm gonna guess you meant 3. Oh, you went for more shooting. Okay, you put Blight Launchers in there instead. So you went a bit heavier on the shooting, as opposed to heavy plague weapons. So I'd probably go for the 3 heavy plague weapons because I think if you do make a charge, it's probably worth it. Hey, mate, I know, mate. I am sorry, Dylan. I'm trying to get through them. I didn't expect this channel to be half as popular as it was. So I am trying my best to get through, mate. I promise. Okay, double Rhino to carry them all around because once again, chat, a walking Marine is a dead Marine. So we are happy to see that. There you go. Chat's finally loaded. Boom. There you go, mate. So that'll come through in a second for you there, Dimitri. There we go. 2 times 10 cultists, again, great unit just for sort of like pushing out, doing stuff. Scout moves, great. It's utility. We like 2 cultists. We've got the big 6-man Death Shroud Terminators. Really scary. Now, you go with the Terminator Sorcerer. A lot of people would go Lord of Virulence with the 6-man just for the insane Overwatch threat. But I also understand the Terminator Sorcerer. -1 damage if you want them to be more of an anvil rather than like a sort of drop in and just like spray and clear a unit. Having like an anvil unit, the Sorcerer is fine for that and great use for that because again, -1 damage is fucking massive, especially in the metagame at the moment with a lot of damage 2 from Deathwing Knights, Inner Circle Companions, Death Company, whatever god, lots of Chosen, got like Chaos Lord damage 3 at the moment. There's a lot of things in the meta that are damage 2. Like, damage 2 is the most common melee number. Like even Sisters can be quite scary with certain builds. So having the -1 damage is really good. 2 blow drones, one with a heavy blight launcher, one with spitters. Again, we just talked about why I don't mind the heavy blight launcher. I quite like it, so that's fine. 1 big unit of 20 Poxwalkers. Now here's the question: is Typhus joining that 20 Poxwalkers, or is it going to be dependent on game? A Beast of Nurgle, again, is great. It teleports in, deep strikes, can do actions, which it would usually be Nurglings to do this, but obviously since the change they can't do it. So Beast of Nurgle to do that, happy. I'm going to guess this is 1 unit of 3 Nurglings, not 3 units of 3 Nurglings. Again, great utility, so still 1 unit of Nurglings in your list is great to have for denying scouts, for denying infiltrators. So having that is really nice. You are correct, Dylan, the tankiness does forgive misplays a lot more. Going in a durability route forgives misplays a lot more. Damage output against durability, like damage output is more on you making plays happen, whereas durability allows you to make something happen and be more reactionary. You can take the hit and then react backwards, whereas just having like glass cannon units, you have to take the initiative and do stuff. And then 2 Brigands. So again, we talked about Brigands. We talked about why Brigands are really good at the moment. We like Brigands being allies at the moment because they just bring so much firepower. They bring anti-tank, which this list does lack. In terms of ranged anti-tank anyway. Obviously, any of this gets near stuff, it's going to punch it to death, which is really, really good. Now, Typhus is going to go with the Poxwalkers. Now, that is interesting, because a lot of people aren't doing that at the moment. But that being said, If you are actually managing to bring a Terminator in with the Death Shroud Terminators, it does free up command points that could have potentially been used on Disgustingly Resilient for the Poxwalkers. A lot of people don't ever use Disgustingly Resilient on Poxwalkers, but it would surprise you, especially when you get charged by something like, let's say 6 Inner Circle Companions come in. They swing at you, they're going to do like a shit ton of wounds to you. They're normally all damage 2, which is really bad because you're going to lose a load of dudes. However, now if you make damage 1, 5 up feel no pain to bounce all of them. It's equivalent to having a 5 up invulnerable. So effectively, the unit has 30 wounds. So unless your opponent has rolled 30 dice and caused 30 wounds, you should live with at least one guy. And which is actually kind of wild to think that these guys could tank a unit of Inner Circle Companions. And obviously then, you can swing back, clap them with Typhus and his flat 3 damage weapon, start regenerating, mortal wounds. And again, against the stuff like Sisters, now the big problem with Poxwalkers in the meta at the moment is Seraphim squads are just going to fucking roast you. Seraphim squads are disgusting. However, if you're against a Melter heavy build of Sisters, Melter don't do shit to Poxwalkers. Like, who cares? Like, you kill like, wow, well done, you killed 6 Poxwalkers this turn. Yay, cool. I'll do Smite off Typhus, kill 4, there's 4 back. I'll make a charge, eat some more, and get some more back that way. So, that basically, and also the thing with Typhus and Poxwalkers is, don't walk it up the board. I see way too many people try and walk it up the board. It doesn't end well. Now, if you play UKTC, I don't know if you are UKTC. If you do, there's a lot better positions for the Typhus now with the middle L's, which is good. But originally, I would have to put them in strategic reserve and walk them onto the side because Poxwalkers will be shot to shit. People just love shooting them for some reason. So expect to get shot a lot. But again, it's fine. It takes a lot of board space. It comes in. I'm not too sure on it still in the meta. It's a bit weird. But there are certain games where this 20-man Poxwalker brick can be an absolute pain in the ass to move. And there's other games where it just gets picked up like that. So, in terms of competitiveness, we don't tend to take stuff that isn't super reliable. So there will be games where these Poxwalkers just die. But again, the truth can sort of be said for anything. You might run into like Horde Orcs. And then, like, you know, your Predator Annihilator that someone's brought is going to be useless. Again, not a great unit for that exact reason. But at the same time, it's not it's 100 points. Yeah, you can regen Poxwalker with Typhus' ability, and you can do it with his melee and the Poxwalker's melee. So Typhus' ability regenerates Poxwalkers, and the melee of the Poxwalkers and Typhus, if he's attached, will also regenerate models. It's very, very good. So yeah, so I think you dropped a full Rhino. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I don't mind that. Again, triple Rhinos is a lot of points at the moment. I did 3 Death Shot Terminators, Bloat Drawn Tentacles. So you got all... This is what I was saying before, guys. Look how much he got for dropping a Rhino. He got a lot of stuff added to the list. And in this terms, it's going to be far better at scoring. Beast's going to come in and score. Typhus can come in and score while still doing his mortals. He's got he's got 10 more cultists there to put early pressure and early trades, which is really, really nice. So the reason it works is because the Poxwalker's ability states that any melee attacks that kill models made by this unit. Now, when Typhus is in the unit, he is this unit. So he gets that rule benefit as well. So if the Poxwalkers kill something, or Typhus kills something with melee attacks, that rule also triggers. So yeah, again, the changes here, I really like them. Nurglings are great, especially in like a World Eater heavy meta or stuff with lots of scout. Bringing them along really, really helps. So I think this will score a lot better than your previous rendition. Are you missing anything? My only concern would be if you play on boards with long angles because you've got nothing that's over 24 range on guns. Now that being said, the one thing we do have that's over 24 is like Predators, and Predators aren't great. They're decent, but they're good because you get a lot of them for super cheap. 130 points super cheap. You get a lot of them in the list for a very little investment. However, like compared to like a Gladiator Lancer, they're probably not going to win that fight 9 times out of 10 unless they have stuff like Hellbrute support and things like that. So as long as you play smart and again make the opponent have to make bad trades with like your Plague Marines staging correctly, then the Brigands will get good angles here and will be able to do work here. So in the absence of Rhinos, is it even possible to play Death Guard? So Prometheus, yes, but it is not with Plague Marines. You basically need to just remove Plague Marines from your list if you're not running Rhinos. Like, I genuinely would not recommend running Plague Marines on foot. They just don't. Their 5-inch move is awful. They will just die. They're not tough. They don't have an invuln to back up on. So yeah, if you don't have any rhinos, like, don't run Plague Marines. Again, unless you're playing for fun. Again. But a lot of lists are just dropping Plague Marines entirely. It's not because Plague Marines are bad, but again, it's personal place. Like, I'm dropping Plague Marines at the moment. In a couple of my lists. And it's just because the basic idea is that it's just too many points in one basket, and as a sort of toolbox player, I want those tools, and I want more tools to play around with, so it works better for me. But again, if it works for thee, keep it. Again, we're all different players, even at different levels of skill or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, I will never do Elven or Vehicle list, because I'm just not me. But, again, that's swings and roundabouts. But yeah, I do like that list, Locus. Honestly, I don't think there's anything that actually dropped. You got a lot of pressure here. I do like the Brigands there. Bloat Drone. You got the Cultists to do early trades. Bloat Drones are fantastic there. Again, I'd personally drop the Poxwalkers, but that's just a me thing. I'd use those 100 points to probably get another Bloat Drone. Or try and like maybe drop the Poxwalkers. Drop a Plague Marine squad. Get like a Rhino and then like another unit of like something possibly. Or drop the Poxwalkers down to 10 and just have 10 holding home. But honestly, not too much. I don't honestly change there, mate. I quite like it, to be honest with you. I quite like it. Stop teasing. It is if there are Lord and Savior Plague Surgeon's current rules. Yeah, I want the new Plague Surgeon rules. Okay, what's my latest list? So I have Leeds in 2 weeks. And I need an opinion. I actually need chat. Chat, help. I need you, chat. Help me. So I am debating taking 2 carnivores. And I don't know how people will react to that. Are people going to be like excited for me to finally try War Dogs, or would you all see me as an absolute traitor to the pure Death Guard thing? Only because they seem very fun to play with, and they do a good purpose. Like, a lot of that list last week like quite resonated with me. It kind of already fit into what I was kind of playing around with. I'm not tripping Plague Burst Crawlers. I'm not going triple like Carnivore. It should be double. So you let me know, chat, if I'm an absolute traitor. Slap me, tell me I'm an idiot, and I won't take them. And if you want me to keep taking Pure Death Guard, I can do that. If you want to see me try out Carnivores, I will do it. But again, it's just... That's the thing. I want to be able to... It's not just that. I want to be able to talk about them. Because when we talk about... A lot of Death Guard players are using War Dogs, and I want to be able to talk about them more of them rather than just being like, so Dave, so Will, what do you think? But you were the Death Guard. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to defeat the War Dogs, not join them. That's how I feel. So I might, because Will said he can lend me 2, so I wouldn't even have to get the hobby done for him. And I think they would just make a nice change to the list, and also it would also sort of keep it a bit fresher for me again, because I'm a one trick pony, and we're on index now for like a couple months, and from what I've been hearing, I don't think we're getting Death Guard Codex any time too soon. So it would help also for my enjoyment just to keep it sort of like fresher a bit. Do you get what I mean? So hopefully, you guys won't murder me for that one. Have you guys looked at the Malignify list? I have not. Kenobi, I'm going to have to go sort that out. Last time mixed up my names on my list, but I'm sure Cal. Okay. Okay, we're going back to what you call it. We're going back to copy paste. Listen to Will, you're 100% a traitor, but there hasn't been a loyal Death Guard since Garrow. Okay, fair point. Typhus is my favourite person in the entire game, and Typhus probably would like betray you in a heartbeat if it got him a better result. There we go. Yeah, that's what I mean, Robert. It's the speed as well. It's the fact, like, if people want to try and get me in a stale board state, because I'm still running PBCs, because I still really like them, and it's just the fact that I can react with, like, a 14-inch Carnivore or, like, a Plague Bus or something like that. It's like, what's going to show up? Is it going to be the 3-man Terminator squad? Is it going to be the 14-inch Carnivore moving? Or is it going to be the Plague Bus? It's like... It's that toolbox idea, and like worst case scenario, I come across something that's going to melee pressure me. I'm like, cool, I have 2 Carnivores to be backliners and sort of react to where you want to go. Because I'm debating dropping the 10-man Foul Blight Spawn Balance Putrefier at the moment. Because again, I like the unit, I do, but every time I'm looking at my list, and I'm like, there is 375 points in that one Rhino chassis. If I cock that up and against good players, like I have been, like especially round 5, I get a bit nervous sometimes against some of the big names, and I do play like an idiot. So I will. And all it takes is one screw up, and I've lost 375 points. So that's game. Do you get what I mean? Pretty much, Austin. Yeah. So I'm dropping them for that. Morty's in the list. To kind of go and slap some Dark Angels because it's just funny, and plus Custodians are getting more popular again and again. Killing Custodians is the one thing that makes me super happy. So I'll do like a list reveal stream. We'll probably talk about it on the next podcast episode with Dave and Will, which is on Thursday. So yeah, that is true, Rob. Fight First can be clutch now, but the thing that I keep having happen, and the thing that's making me stop doing the biologist fire foul bite spawn is every time I have ran the foul bite spawn, nobody gives a shit about Flight First because they just run in and they pop fight on death. World Eaters pop fight on death. Death Company pop fight on death. Inner Circle Companions fight on death. So every single time, like, yeah, it's cost my opponent 1 or 2 CP, but the end result is the same. I die, they die. Like, that's it. It's like, and the problem is, I'm being traded down on. Like, I am normally the trade lord. I am the lord of the trade. I'm the one making the better trades. Whereas right now, I'm having a 300 point unit, a 320 point unit, or 300 point unit being picked up by like a 200 point unit, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, sorry, to get back to the list. Dual Biology Putrefier, Triple Biology Putrefier, oh god, Triple Bio Fall Back, he's going to regret what I just said on it. Load of Contagion, Mortarion. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3 big 10-mans. Full melee, which is interesting. I never recommend full melee. The reason for this is because you don't want a scenario where you've disembarked 10 dudes out of a rhino to run into a rhino. And now you sat staring at a rhino, and you're like, how do I crack this open? I will melee it. And you melee the rhino, they get out, and then they charge you back and kill you. Which is like, that's not great. So, even if it's just the 2 melter guns in there, please bring some form of shooting, because you can go 3 grenade strat, plus then you've got the shooting of Biology Putrefier, Foul Blight Spawn, and all it takes is one of those melters to connect on a 5 lethal. Suddenly it's AP 5, you're going clean through, even recover. You can roll D6 plus 2 damage. And you've got a good chance of picking up that rhino at that point. And then you can charge the contents. So yeah. Just literally someone's just put in there. Oh dear me. I no longer love Plague Marines. Now let's get into the next list, which is Plague Marine spam. Oh no. Literally, I know, right? But again, and this is the one thing I've been coming to. At the moment, I think you commit to the Plague Marine or you don't. So I actually think this is fine. Like, because he's committing to the Plague Marine. You're going to the 3 10-man break. It's a very old style of list. Still good, though. Still all reliable. I'm going to guess, if this is 3 Brigands now, then we're in a real happy place. But let's see how it goes. No Brigands. Okay. But again, I digress. Is that because we've got Morty in it? Yeah, we've got Morty. Okay. Triple Rhino, again, yep, good. So, the thing that this list immediately wants is... Well, I mean, there's 2 ways this goes. This either has to play as a pressure list. This either has to go like... And again, Mortarion is good for pressure lists, because Mortarion is quite tough and he's still quite intimidating. This has to go forward. The Rhinos need to try and hide as best as possible. Morty takes the shots with the bloat drones. For that one, I'd actually probably swap one of these bloat drones out to a flesh mower, just because people seem to think the way scarier than they are and really be like, oh no, it's a carnivore! And it's like, no, it's a flesh mower, mate. But it'll make them shoot it really hard, because when you say something like 12 attacks at damage 2, they're like, oh my god, it's going to kill me! And it's probably not, but again, don't tell them that. It just draws firepower. So this is like, through a bloat drone plus Morty pressuring, and you've got like a second wave of a unit of Death Shroud Terminators. The first turn goal of all these Plague Marines is to get the rounds into good positions, so that next turn you can disembark and go. And you have to have the go turn this one. It's not really tradey. This is not a tradey list. Again, you have 3 bloat drones that could trade, but again, your answer to whatever picks up the bloat drones, you have no guns. It has to be melee, which means you have to take the mid board, and you have to pressure your opponent. This is not a list that can sit back. There is no long-range guns here. There is literally nothing. Which, again, makes me worry about what we talked about, where you don't have anything to make your opponent play humble. And again, that's fine if you commit to it. If you're committing to that, I'm going to take mid instantly, and this is my realm now, and you're going to have to come and fight into me, into my staging points, that's fine, but you need to play it that way. Honestly, and again, you got double Nurglings here. Didn't mean to click that. I don't want to explore more. Double Nurglings is actually better for this list than you might think, because The Nerv's going to stop any scout moves. They're going to stop a lot of infiltrates, and that is exactly what this list needs to do. This list needs to dominate the mid and not let your opponent get onto it. That is completely what it wants to do. Now, this list usually gets run with like triple Brigand instead of all this stuff down here. So you swap all this out for like triple Brigand. Again, that works really well as well, but again, you've got less things to play with. And they normally don't have Mortarion in that list. Now, the only other thing I've got with Mortarion here is, what is Morty doing? Morty's taking a lot of firepower here, which is great and fine for the pressure list. But the only thing that he's actually using his aura to like mitigate bonuses for is the melee and like the heavy plague weapons, which is again fine, totally. But I like getting value out of Mortarion's aura all the time, which is again why I want to run like shooting with it as well. But again, in this list, it is a pressure list. It wants to get into the mid stage. Bloat drones and Morty draw out enemies to react to them. Then you jump on them. If they play too relaxed, you can then deep rapid ingress in Death Shroud Terminators with Lord of Contagion. No Typhus, though, is an interesting pick. I would probably swap the Lord for Typhus. But again, if you want the unit to hit as hard as possible, probably not. But again, Typhus is so good at being the exact same points that it means that worst case scenario, the Terminators can just drop in, do an action, and still do some mortals. But I mean, this list is the kind of list that does want to play aggressive. I wouldn't change anything right now. Part of the guns, like please put some melter guns on these units, just in case you're into transport. You don't want to sit there where you thump your ass. But like it will work. The list will work. It will pressure someone, and it's going to be very up to your opponent to like play around the Plague Marines. Now it is risky because if you get something like Tau and they go like Retal Cadre or like put a lot of units in Deep Strike, it's really hard to screen out when your army has what like Morty, 1, 2, 3 rhinos, and 3 bloat drones, and then 2 Nurglings. It can be hard to screen out, especially if they take out the Nurglings early with tradey stuff. It's going to be really hard to keep your rhinos safe from angles where the Christ don't just drop in, blow up the rhino, and then a second unit shoots all the Plague Marines inside like missile pods. So do be aware of that. Again, to prevent that, you have to be aggressive. Take the mid, get in good staging points, and then push. Do not let him get into the game. You have to be dominant in this list. But please, guns up here. Put some guns in here. Par that. See how it goes. And again, if you find yourself really struggling, then maybe look at something like adding a bit more firepower. So like 2 Predators joining along Mortarion just to get some ranged firepower. Or again, you could go the traditional route with Brigands. So, but still like the list, still fun. It's just very different to like sort of the things I'm running at the moment. But again, I think you will do. I had 3 Predators. Okay, yeah, that's fair, mate. Yeah, sisters are a bastard. Oh, there you go, yeah. My roll for 80 is the anti-infantry anti-elite pressure list. Again, yeah. So if you're playing this pressure list, they're playing the pressure list, that's not something they want to run into because you've got fights first. Everywhere, really hard-hitting melee, really hard-hitting Mortarion, drones to dominate. So actually, for the role it's made for, so this must be a teams list, this is actually a pretty good list. I thought this was for singles at first, which would have been a bit harsh on it, but in relation to the information that this could be for teams, I actually like this a lot more. So, fair play, fair play. Do like that book. In your teams, and again, that's why it's so different. Teams and singles, so different beasts. So yeah, okay, you know what, book, fair play. I'll give you that one. But again, put some metal guns in those squads, please. Let me have a quick drink, real quick. 10 Blight Lord Terminators with -1 damage is so funny. It's Death Ring World Eaters Death Company. Yeah, -1 damage is like the funniest thing to do to someone, especially when like I've had like 5 Death Ring Knights and a Librarian to give him sustained hits, charge a bloat drone and not kill it because I -1 damaged it. He's like, really? You're going to do it on that? I was like, yeah, fuck it. Because now you don't kill it. And then I fall back, shoot and charge next turn. I was like, cool. Haha. It just felt real bad to just do it to him. But it kept my unit alive. And then my unit got to float away and do an action next turn. And then, you know, it was all snowbally from there. Okay, so my name Yef. We're going to load up his. Hauling Blight, it's called. So, explanation for this one. My LGS was selling Blight Halls for $15 each. Figure I might as well try a pressure build list with these little cuties. Kind of aided that till I showed it. Unfortunately not. This is just regular old Beppy Min. Because I don't want to do product placement in case someone yells at me. So it's Beppy Min. Definitely not the opposite. It's Beppy Min. Okay, so let's have a look at this one then. Ballast Preach Fire for Blight Spawn. So nice, standard. Lord of Contagion, Deadly Bath. Love it. 2 Lord of Contagion. Ooh, big boy. And a Plague Boss and a type. Ooh, okay. I love this change again to the single 5. Yeah, single. There we're going. Single 5-man with a plague bus. 1 5-man's fine. Some people are running 0. 2 5-mans can just be a little bit expensive at the moment, given the price raises on like the other characters. So totally fine with this. Again, look, Meltagun book, Meltagun. The 2 rhinos because again, walking marine is a dead marine. 2 units of cultists, really good. Like 1, 2's even better if you can fit a second one in. Always go for 2 cultists. Love it. 2 Terminators that are just going to drop in with Rapid Ingress with a lot of contagion to be real nasty. Like that. One thing I will say is you could consider going a Sorcerer on the second squad instead of a Lord of Contagion. Lord of Contagion basically demands Rapid Ingress, whereas Sorcerers can play, or even Lord of Virulence, but again, Lord of Virulence took a big hit in utility. But the Sorcerer can come in, still shoot his once per game thing, and then take a charge, which is fine, because he's got the -1 damage. So, well, if you're happy to put 2 CP aside to go rapid turn 2, rapid turn 3, that's fine. But if you find yourself constantly struggling for that second rapid ingress, consider maybe going for a Terminator Sorcerer instead. 1 bloat drone, 2 bloat drone, they're just really good. 1 holler, 2 holler, 3 holler. Holler! Mephitic Blight hollers. We do like Mephitic Blight hollers for the 90 points. Again, I like bloat drones better, but I don't like them for output. I don't think they do a very good job in terms of output. But again, 90 points for the defensive profile is something I just can't argue against. Like, it is a great trade piece. And people might crap themselves at the thought like a multi-melt is getting close. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but for popping like transports, like you hit on 3s, you wound on 2s because you get contagion, drop to T8, strength 9, +1 to win versus vehicles. Can actually be quite nice. So I like the fact you're running 3 1s. I wouldn't ever commit them to 1 3. I think 2s are fine. 3s can be a bit hard to hide, to get you maximum use out of them. And having 3 1s again, it just means your opponent can't like just focus fire it down. Strat efficiency for your opponent's worse. And again, they're just everywhere. So you can like right now, if we look at this straight away, we've got 5-man Plague Marine in this Rhino here, 2 units of Cultist, 2 Bloat Drones, 3 of these things. Oh, that's a lot of units that can go around and do stuff. Oh, and look, a double Carnivore to sort of like, we got a little double Carnivore at the end to add that extra melee punch. I do agree, Dats and Dares, I prefer drones better. I think they're just better in general. But again, 90 points, the same amount of points. If you just want hulls to do stuff, then I think you could do a lot worse. Now, the one thing with this list is that you are lacking sort of long-range firepower. It's definitely a setup turn 1. Yeah, 2 hulls terraforming. That actually could be really annoying to deal with, to be fair with you, Dustin. That's a really annoying thing. But turn 1, this unit wants to set up, maybe do a trade with one of these hulls and bloat drones to sort of set up a reaction from either like a rapid ingress if you're going second, or like a charge in from like a 5-man plague marine or like a plague bus shot here. Now, Carnivores, again, we've already talked about like how decent they can be there. They've got great OC, OC8, movement 14. These can, again, backline it, rapid ingress it, whatever you want to do. It's going to be very hard, especially if you come into like so let's imagine this is against the Dark Angels Metalist right now. You put a hauler in the middle, okay? And then the rest, like you got the 10-man at your side or whatever. What do they kill that hauler with? This is why haulers and bloat drones are great. What do they kill that with? A lot of people are running like 10-man Hellblaster squads. Do you really want to expose 10-man Hellblaster squad? Now, again, that's why I would prefer some more shooting in this list. More long-range shooting. Like, that's why I always try to like have like a PBC or a Predator. Because, again, the Hellblasters come out, get an angle, shoot that, you shoot them back. You probably do way more damage than they did to you. Or they put forward their Eradicator Brick. And, again, neither of them are things they want to be happily losing. So, in terms of dealing with that, I think it's fine. I would probably swap a hauler to a bloat drone here if you want to do this like mass like demon engine thing, because I think bloat drone is just generically better. Probably with like a heavy blight launcher again, we talked about before. But in terms of this list, I think it's fine. You got like again, these guys are great for reactionary plays and for also backlining. The haulers are just gonna like struggle to do output. That's the main issue with them. Like bloat drones do tons of output, but they're just annoying and a pain in the ass. So then you got like. You rely on your Death Shroud to sort of like rapid ingress in and do a bit of a just to put after force. You know. That is true, Don. But the thing is, even if they're putting a 4, I never hold the middle objective. It's just not a thing that happens. So if they're willing to put 4 OC on it, it just depends what the OC is. And again, that's why bloat drones are better, because if someone wants to do it with cheap infantry, you got the flamers there to stop them. The hauler doesn't have that protection because it doesn't have like a flamer. But if they're going to go put, like, again, 5, obviously, let's talk about meta lists. 5 Deathwing Knights, super uptrade that. 6 Inner Circle Companions, super uptrade that. Scout's, like, the biggest problem for this list. Like, if a Scout gets on the point, they will take it off you for free. And you would have to Overwatch to try and at least kill one of them to prevent that. And again, that's why, like, Bloat Drones with a Plague Spitters could be better, because that defends itself from that. But at the same time... Oh yeah, there are only 3, aren't they? So yeah, you'd have to kill 2 Scouts. But again, that's not too bad for a Bloat Drone. But again, it's more about them having to do something about it and having that trade happen. And again, if they don't have the units that can, like, trade it, because again, it's really, really hard for, like, a unit with, like, a lot of... Again, it's just the Hellblaster, the Eradicators, really, at the moment, for shooting for Dark Angels. So them having to, like, commit Sword Brethren or Inner Circle Companions can just make a really big uptrade for you. The question is, what's trading back here that is actually making those points and they're not dying instantly? That's the harder question to answer. Like, Plague Bus is really good for shooting them off. So Plague Bus could do it at a decent angle and shoot them. But this is the problem, like, this is, like, almost too many tradey bait units and not enough, like, bit of Dakar. You just need a bit more Dakar in here. So, like, and again, if you want to use the haulers, and that's the whole point of this list, give it a shot, see how it goes. But personally, I'm like, after this unit gets traded into, what am I picking up that thing with? You could say a Carnivore, that's fine. It's only 140 points, not the worst trade. You could say Rapid Ingress Death Shroud, that's also fine. Cultists can honestly beat up Scouts. You'd be really surprised at how much these guys can beat up Scouts. It's kind of funny. And you got a 5-man squad that can easily go kill Scouts, something like that. Totally fine. The real question is, when do you commit a 10-man? And what do you have to support the 10-man to stop your opponent basically just being like, here is, like, a Gladiator Reaper. Like, do not disembark any infantry, I will kill you. And again, that's why I still like to bring PBCs, Venture Cannons, or like people to bring in Brigands, because it just sort of keeps people, like, not able to just put a tank on a line and be like, yeah, you can't do anything about it. So in this regard, it was sort of fun list. Would I consider it super competitive? Probably not, Jeff. But again, it's like you said, if you're going for a pressure build like you've said, running all this at someone is going to give them a nightmare to deal with. It genuinely will. Just make sure that the Carnivores are playing safer than the Haulers. The Haulers want to be taking your shots, really. Tell them how scary the Melter Gun is. And then the Bloat Drones and the Carnivores want to sort of crash in on turn 2 with a Rapid Ingress Shroud, whilst also the Plague Buster and the round gets to work. This is definitely a turn 2/3 jump on the opponent kind of list. But let me know how he plays. I'm really interested to sort of see how that one goes. It looks quite fun, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is, because I've been on for an hour now, and my internet's been a bit flaky last night, so I'm going to probably sort of call it here, before it's a bit dry. I will do another one, though, in the week coming with another episode. Another thing that I want to say very quickly is, just before I sort of, like, head off, bloody hell, Austin, giving the 5/5, thank you so much, mate. Massively appreciate it. I feel bad now that I'm going off. But thank you so much. For those that just got gifted a membership, do go to the community tab on YouTube. Check out the link to the Discord. You can join. You get access to all the Discord good stuff. Let me change it back to the Discord for you guys to see. And you get access to the Plague Surgery once you link your YouTube account. Then you can post your lists in here. We'll go through them. You get access to all your stuff on here. Join in with, like, the 1 hour a night challenge, painting and hobby. Or people are always chatting away, stuff like that. Talk about, like, deployments, missions. Death Guard Dave ran through one of his recent games. Do come along, do come say hi. But thank you so much to Austin there. Their support has been amazing, and I'm really glad you guys seem to be enjoying the channel. Honestly, it's one of the proudest things I've ever done is this channel. So to see you guys enjoying it is, like, all I want. I just want this to be like the Death Guard channel. That's what I want it to be. But yeah, so what's coming up this week? So I am currently working on the perfect plague for Dark Angels. I reached out to the Dark Angels community to get some pictures of their models to use in the video. I got about 1 reply, so that went real well, so I'm going to try again in a different community. Very secretive, those buggers, don't want to share the models. But that is coming up. I'm going to have another fetish fight phase all about sort of, like, heroic interventions and, like, tricks you can do with it. So we're going to try and do that. We obviously have our weekly best Death Guard list of the thing, which I'm now doing Infection Critical. Really check out that one this week. So we've got like 2 or 3 to go over. Very, very cool lists as well. One went 6-0, or sorry, 6-1 or 5-1 or something like that. Very good lists. We had a couple second place finishes. Always the bridesmaid over the bride, sadly. but some really, really cool lists to go over there, which we will check out and go through and talk about them. And I'm going to try and reach out to the players, see if we can get some input from them. And like I say, 30 fight phase, Perfect Plague. Myself, Will, and Dave are recording on Thursday. Probably do it as a live again for the actual Disgusting Resilient podcast episodes, talking a lot about leads, what we're going to be taking. So I will tell them both you have all gave me permission to run carnivores. So if anyone's mad at me, it wasn't me, it was chat. Chat told me to do it, so, chat, I'm going to do it. So blame chat. And yeah, so hopefully we got a fair bit of content coming up for you. I am trying to look at some ways to sort of give extra things. Someone, I think Ep6 said he's going to run me through, or I'm going to try and get someone to run me through Tabletop Simulator. So just a quick update on personal life things. My local club's kind of a bit dead, which is sad. No, it's not dead. We have a lot of new players, and a lot of the old competitive veteran guard have either moved on to old world, some have had kids and just life changes and stuff like that, which is fine. Totally get it. So it's becoming increasingly hard for me to get competitive practice games. One of the last 2 remaining competitive members is now gone. His wife's had a kid, so congrats to Matt on that one. But it's becoming increasingly hard. So because of that, unfortunately, I'm having to find other ways to get practicing, which is I'm going to hopefully set up TTS. Now, the bright side of setting up TTS, thank you, Austin. I will let you know, mate. Is that obviously, as Don said, I can get some practice games against the people on here. We can do some stuff. I can also use it for teaching. So that'll be quite cool. You'll have to give me a little bit to just get my head around it so the games don't last hours. But maybe, hopefully, we can get something going on there for the channel as well if you guys would enjoy that. Maybe we can even get a little TTS league if there's enough people that do use it. That would be quite fun, just like a practice league. But yeah, so that's sort of what's going on. For now, we did have our giveaway recently, so we had our winners. So congratulations to Savannah Cardo and Fanfla. They have both won the Disgusting Resilient Gaming Utensil set and limited edition colours. I will get them sent out later. Probably next week. I'll probably get them sent out to you guys. But you need to message me and let me know your address and where I'm sending them to. And congratulations to just got 2-3 times. I wish I could do that much, mate. No, we can play other armies, Robert. We can do it. And congratulations to Endrain for winning the £25 Warhammer gift voucher. Who knows, Robert? I might even play Eldar. I might go play Custodes. I told you how much I love Custodes. Favourite army in the game, that one. So congratulations to those guys. Again, keep your eye out on there. We'll have some more giveaways going up soon. So I've still got a lot of Saltire Games things to give away. But yeah, and obviously if you do come join the Discord, come and join the 1 hour a night challenge. Sorry, my throat's getting a bit dry from talking endlessly for an hour. Basically, the idea is that we're trying to set ourselves a goal to get a bit of hobby done every night. It doesn't have to be an hour, just anything, literally anything. And we try and keep each other motivated with our updates. So you can see I've been doing some Sagittars, which is, one of the things I've been working on recently. I have been doing more of them they are. They've even got some extra bits in them now. So I am trying to get through my Votan. Some people work on Legionnaire. Some people work on the Chaos Knight, which is looking really good there. Uzagonna, that's really good. These are very cool, like weird little Tau Tank things. Again, it doesn't have to be Death Guard. We're not going to shoot you for that. But yeah, I hope you guys, if you do consider becoming a member, you get access to all this and you can join in on the good stuff. Hello, Cinder. I'm sorry, Cinder. I'm literally about to head off, mate. But thank you for joining. Obviously, you can watch the video back on it. So yeah, look forward this week to a lot more content. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for joining for now. Let me pin this before we forget. Right, where are we up to? We just did Jeff, so we're up to you, Diwan, pin. Where's the pin? I'm blind. There we go, pin message. So that will pick up there on the next next stream. Sorry, Duke City Aquarium. Sorry, mate, you just missed it a bit. But yeah, I will do next week's one. Same again. Usually try to do it Sunday time. Had to do it Monday just because of a bit of an internet issue yesterday. So yeah, it would usually be Sundays though. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I will catch you all on the next episode, and I'll talk to you in the Discord for the members and whatnot. And again, I will find some War Dogs to get ready for Leeds then. Take care, everyone. Catch you all on the next episode. See you later, guys. I'm looking forward to you looking for my... Oh, God. It should be fun. See you